Hey, what's up? How's it going? All right, so this is gonna be just a brief update and also kind of a short tutorial on this mission objective system that I'm working on in conjunction with another programmer. This is just me basically setting down the basics of what I need and having them actually program the block of code that I need to make this work. So right now, I've made some logic and I'm using Game Creator 2 for this one. The logic that I made is basically we have a trigger, which is right here, and on input, and this is using Unity's new input system. So you would map this to your button. For example, I have a mission window button that works with the D-pad on the Xbox and PlayStation controller. And then from there, once this button is actually triggered and the program picks that up, it's going to run some conditions. Now, these conditions I'll break down for you in a second here. So these conditions is it's running branches. So it's like if then. So what this code is basically saying is I've made a local variable stating if the window is open. Is window open is a variable, and then window is closed, it'll be another one, or is window closed. I can't remember what I actually named it, but when we get there, then I'll do that. But right now, so here's our local variable. So if this window is not open, which would be true because it's not open, then we're going to set this to be true and set a UI to be active, which is a mission UI panel that I've actually made from scratch. And then I always like to, whenever you're in the menu, if you're in a game and you don't really want it to pause per se, I just slow the game time down to 0.25. And then if we release the button, then basically the reverse is done. The window set is open to false. Then that's going to close the mission UI panel, set the game scale back to regular time mode, and then set a variable that I have the window is closed, so you don't get that infinite loop. And then down here you're going to see the local name variables right here. Now in this mission UI, hopefully I'll be able to let me put in 2D mode here, and this is our mission UI, so I'm going to activate it right now. So in the mission UI, what you'll be able to see here is what I've done is pretty much made a nice little panel with the mission name, placeholder, the description, an image, and also like a quote or something if you just want to put that in there, or whatever it is that you might want to do. And all these will get updated in a second, so I'm gonna close this out and leave. Close this out and leave 2D mode. And let's get back to our character here. And we left 2D mode. Right here, this cube is just a trigger. So when I come down here to our mission trigger, here's some logic here. So we have this as a box collider, and this is our trigger logic. So on trigger enter, and we're specifying when the player character enters this trigger, it's going to fire off a few things. What I like to do as I'm putting together logic is take notes or have notes before each little block of code that I've put in here. So right now I'm going to play a sound effect, which would be something that I specify right here. And also note that if you're going to be scaling the game time and you don't want other audio affected, make sure that when you're doing in your update mode, have it as unscaled time. And that way it won't actually slow the vocals down and pitch shift. Now, the next thing is that, we have a mission sprite, and that's in my notes. So this sprite, you've seen the original sprite. I'm going to change it to something else, and you'll see that as it's showcased. Then we have the mission name, so it's back to the smash and grab, blah blah blah. for our mission description holder. So basically what this is doing is this is going to override things that were already set up in place. This is how most games do it. You have your UI that's created, and then you override those with different images and different things like that. Then we have a text quote. Then we have our mission description. But the most important thing is that we're actually going to wait for this audio to complete before it executes everything else. And the reason being is that if we don't wait for it to complete and we run into the trigger again, it'll basically start the audio over twice. It'll be like an infinite loop. So we want to have something in between to stop us from doing that. So after that is done, then we're going to wait after everything is set in this for about 0.1 seconds, and then we're going to disable the collider. So that way we don't have to run, we won't run back and forth and trigger something else. So like, think of a trigger as a thing that's executed one time. I don't know, like I'm a big fan of Resident Evil, and what Resident Evil does is they do a lot of events and a lot of triggers. So say for instance, if you're running down a hallway, or you grab a key item, and that key item will fire off something in the background to let either a trigger disable, and then a new trigger will be enabled. So see if you're running down like an empty hall, and then there's windows, and all of a sudden the dog busts through the windows. But before, the whole time you were playing a game, that never happened until you hit that trigger or picked up that key item, which activated that trigger. So when you ran through that, then you got the jump scare. So they basically are like switches. But enough said. We're gonna see this in action. Then there's a couple things that I'm gonna point out too as well, as far as graphical improvements and all that and whatnot. So here we go. All right, so now we're in full screen mode. So earlier what I was saying, here's our new audio pop out. You see that down in the lower left hand corner. Nice. So I'm just gonna move around here for a second. And what I was showing you earlier was the mission description. So if I hit this button right here, these clouds look beautiful. So we got a nice depth of field going on as well. So I'm going to open up the mission panel right now. So you see the mission name, placeholder, description, take them out, no hesitation, blah, 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 blah. And as we move, you see, as I said, the game's scaled down, but our music isn't messed up, so let it go. All right, now here we go. We're gonna hit the trigger and let's go. All right, got the preparation set. So look, this is where your mission's gonna be at. When you get done, contact me. And now for the magic. Boom. There we go. That's all for this update so far. So we do have it scaling as we're moving. Oh, hit my head. All right, gonna try this again. Let me see. So I did fix this. So the reason why I wasn't closing was because I did have it on trigger enter and specified the player, but we're gonna try this again to see if this actually works. So I'm not gonna go full screen because for some reason this full screen keeps cutting up. So here we go again. All right. Could be because of dual monitors. So let's see. I'm gonna run specifically here to this end application. And there we go. So it ended the application. And let's try this again. First, let me save just in case. And so we had it playing in the window. So now we're gonna go to maximize. And let's see. Maximize it now. All right, so we're moving around, and let's walk into this one. All right, got the preparation set. So look, this is where your mission is gonna be at. When you get done, contact me. Okay, so we just hit the trigger. Boom. Looks good. Alright, run back through here. Nothing. Now let's see if this works now. So specify the player trigger. Something's not right. Now it worked before, but now it doesn't. So I'm thinking that it has something to do with this collider on this one once we've hit it. Well, back to the drawing board. So let's try to debug this and figure out what's going on. Alright, so that probably has to do with this. Can player collide equals false? Wait 1 second. Instead of saying if they can collide again, I wonder what happens if we destroy it. So let's try that. Let's disable this. I disable that. And what we're going to do is we're going to just say destroy. And we're going to destroy this. Object destroy. We're going to have it destroy itself. Let's see if the override still sticks and if this will destroy itself how it's supposed to. So let's see. All right. So now running. Everything is good. All right. So we have that. Now let's see if it's gonna destroy itself. All right, got the preparation set. So look, this is where your mission is gonna be at. When you get done, contact me. Now it destroyed itself. Now we still have that going. All right, now let's see once we collide if it ends our app. And that, my friends, was the fix. So being that I disabled the player collider, that was the whole reason why I was unable to exit the game the first way I did it. But knowing that everything stuck once this trigger was activated and everything was overwritten, that makes a lot better. So now what I'm going to do is actually take this and just drop that in there and make a prefab out of that as a mission trigger. And what would be nice is if they would come up with a way to specify, like, if you were able to save this whole block of code without having to redo it, or like you can copy and paste a component, but that's fine. But to be able to save this block would be like super nice, like would come in handy a lot. So the only other way that I can think of really pushing forward with this is to just keep building these small little modules and small little things, and gradually over time they'll get bigger and bigger and the code will get more complex, and you know, there's a lot of things that can be done, but still having to work and keep the frame rates good. But I want to thank y'all for joining me on this one, and at the end of the day, I'm going to try to drop as many of these as possible. Some of the features that I'm working on, like you'll be able to see me actually build these things from scratch, and then you know, edit it down and, you know, go through the process of how it is. And from then on, you know, till next time, catch y'all. Peace.
Was good though. I'm about to go pull up, for real. If y'all wanna pull up on me, pull up on me. Pull up on me. Pull up, pull up on me.
Right. Yeah. Listen, I will pull up when they acting tough on Instagram. I will pull up when they talking shit with them hoes. This time it's a mismatch. Debo in an orange jail jumpsuit. Get your bitch ass out of the car, Craig. This the